Hey, Screen Peekers, welcome back to the channel. It's been a wild week in gaming. Xbox is facing major studio closure rumors. Don't Nod is fighting for its future. EA just launched an entire advertising division. Rockstar finally revealed GTA 6's cover art and pre-order date. And we're going to tell you which games are worth watching for in July. This is your gaming news roundup for the week of June 15th. All right, so before we all get into it, I want to introduce my co-host. He has $1,000 IEMs, but he can't tell the difference between a Rode Pod mic and any given Razer headset. It's my co-host, Nick.
All right. What's going on, guys? But to be fair, my IEMs are so good. They made his what was it? The Razer headset sound like your Rode Pod mic. That's all I gotta say, man. It made your voice so melodic, I could not tell the difference. All right.
Honestly, crazy. For those who don't know, because only 7 people watched our last video on hero shooters, had some audio technical problems, but that won't happen from this day forward. The more you know. All right, mistakes happen. We're all learning, but never mind that. Let's get right into the news. So Nick, kind of a crazy week. A lot of rumors, speculation going around. So why don't we just jump right into it with obviously, arguably the biggest news of the week. A lot of rumor and speculation. We talked last week about Xbox reset and the memo that Asha Sharma had put out. This week, Jason Schreier of Bloomberg News is reporting that, some of the studios potentially on the chopping block are studios like Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games. Now, granted, again, this is just reporting. This is speculation. Obviously, there's a lot of talks going on within Microsoft and Xbox this week. Nothing is set in stone. And obviously, there's a lot of people's livelihoods and employment at risk, right? But yeah, what was your reaction to the news? How are you feeling about, these current rumors and speculation?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came out of left field for me, especially for a company like Ninja Theory, right? We had watched the Xbox showcase and they showed Senua, which we both were like, wow, this looks really good. Even from someone who has not played the first two games, I'm like, I need to play this game. And it's like, oh, wow, like, it's like good news. And then, as you said before, Marco, it's as if they can't hold on to good news for more than 24 or 48 hours, right? It's like right after that, you hear about, oh, Ninja Theory canceling games, Ninja Theory being shut down. And yes, a lot of these are speculations and rumors and whatnot, but where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So I can't say I'm all too happy about it. I mean, it's a little scummy what Xbox is doing. I mean, we've seen it before with the developers of Hi-Fi Rush, right, and other games like that. It's a little upsetting, man.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, like we've said in multiple videos already so far. Like I'm a big Xbox fan, but willing to call out Microsoft and Xbox when it matters most, and this is one of those times. Now, granted, I can argue both sides of the fence. Obviously, Xbox is doing what it can to try and survive internally. Microsoft, even though it's a $3 trillion company, it is owned by shareholders. It's Satya Nadella and the CFO. Like they are always constantly looking at costs, and ever since they purchased Activision Blizzard for a eye-watering $69 billion, right? There's been this huge spotlight on the gaming and section of the company. Satya even said, which I hate this quote, but I'll say it anyway. Satya said this week he's been subsidizing gaming for decades now, and YouTube monetizes games more better than Xbox does, which is a crazy quote if you think about it. Like YouTube better monetizes any gaming thing because YouTube doesn't have any upfront costs with it. They're just paying content developers. So like, of course, YouTube better monetizes anything better than the companies that have to, own the labor and the product and the upfront costs. But I digress. Yeah, no, it is really upsetting to see, and obviously, nothing is set in stone. Microsoft's fiscal year ends June 30th, so I imagine we're actually probably gonna get most of this news late next week as we get closer to that end of
Mm-hmm.
fiscal year.
Yep.
But yeah, to your point, like, it's obviously most affected are the employees if this were to come to fruition. But yeah, as gamers as well and as fans, like, almost kind of got the rug pulled out under us, right? Going pretty hyped into the showcase, fairly hyped afterwards. Senua looked great, and now we're faced with this potential reality that we may never even see that game.
Yeah, yeah, it's super unfortunate, man. I mean, even looking at a company like Double Fine, founded by Tim Schafer, um, there are a lot of really good games under Double Fine, and I get it. They probably bought Double Fine to fill out that library for Game Pass, and Psychonauts 2, it wasn't like a super crazy hit. And so they're like, oh, getting rid of Double Fine. They're trying to trim the fat, but it's sad to see because Double Fine has, to me, they have so many classics. Um, it again, it's just very upsetting. And if I were an Xbox fan, like a super fan like yourself, Marco, I would be severely disappointed. And I know you're disappointed because we talk about this at work all the time. For you listeners out there, Marco's always he's always for the little guy. You know what I mean? So seeing
HR person for the little guy, always for the little guy.
yeah, exactly. If you guys didn't know, we're in HR, but yeah, he's like these companies aren't like, I wouldn't classify them as like the biggest triple A's like Activision and the Bethesdas of the world, but I would say they're on the smaller side, and it's sad to see, and it's always sad to see people losing their jobs. It's sad to see just creativity be thrown out the window for slop like Call of Duty or slop like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed and things like that, right? Like it's just never nice to see, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jason Schreier in some of his follow-up videos, like, even said too, like, these companies were following a mandate, right? Under the previous administration, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, I do have respect for Phil Spencer, honestly, like, but I think, when he first joined, like, made strategic decisions to save Xbox because Xbox was in a horrible place during the Xbox One era. Obviously, Phil Spencer came up with this Game Pass idea, and that really kind of did reinvigorate the brand. And he came out to studios. He started acquiring studios like crazy because you needed to fill out the portfolio of Game Pass, right? Like, it doesn't work if you don't have games as a service. And I liked what he said at the time, which was like, we give you creative freedom to make whatever you want. And as a fan of just gaming in general, like you and I have always said, like, we play everything, right? We're not, solely AAA. Like, we both play everything under the sun. So when studios have creative freedom, I feel like that's when you make the best games. Now, obviously, there's a business side of things, especially when you work for a company like Microsoft, which again is beholden to its shareholders. These aren't big games that are big money makers, you know, high selling games. And when you subsidize it and, Game Pass is only 20, $25 a month, and you see that it doesn't move the needle, yeah, unfortunately, like, they're following their mandates to round out the Game Pass catalog, but Game Pass just hasn't been growing. And with prices increasing, it's stagnating. And now Xbox is faced with this harsh reality. It's, in a way, it's kind of pivot or die. And I am curious what Asha continues to do with Game Pass. And again, I know there's a lot of debate on whether Game Pass is sustainable. How far into the future it will continue? I think we're going to see a lot of changes out of Xbox in terms of strategy, but they just seem to just change strategy every given year. And with this new administration, we know that will continue. But like, again, I said it in a previous video, we're in for a lot more roller coaster rides over the next few years. And hopefully Xbox survives at the end of it, because I'm a firm believer that competition breeds innovation, and we need Xbox to survive, because I don't want Sony and Nintendo to have their own separate monopolies personally on the console space. I know, obviously Steam is getting into the race. We'll see how they fare, and I'm glad Steam is getting into the race because we need more competition. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tough decisions ahead.
Yeah, and honestly, we've mentioned Asha quite a few times already today and in our past videos, and I'll be completely honest, man. I get it. It's her first couple months in this role. I'm honestly not too impressed, man. It feels like she's bringing this consultative, culture into Xbox, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but when you kind of, you know, what I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but when you kind of make things too corporate-y like that, it's never a good thing, man. I've just she's not even a gamer. So, if you're going to come in and you're not even a gamer, you're not passionate about the business that you're overseeing, then you have a lot of work to do, and there's already so much chaos with her and her leadership team. There are mixed messages coming out from all these different people. I'm honestly not impressed. And Asha, I know we're a very small podcast, but I implore you to respond to this because I am absolutely disappointed in you and your leadership team.
I mean, I'll be fair to Asha because obviously, like, yeah, she's only a few months in. I want to maintain hope. Arguably, just to play devil's advocate, Phil Spencer, and again, I respect Phil Spencer as well. Phil Spencer was a gamer. The guy's been in Xbox for decades, plays games in his own regular time, very much was a fan, but also had his own problems too. I mean, there was also still mixed messaging under Xbox under his reign. And obviously, like, I think Xbox as a division versus Microsoft as a company, it is a bit of a mismatch. And if anyone in the audience who's listening to this, if you've never seen the documentary Power On, the story of Xbox, it came out a couple years ago. A, it's a very good documentary, and B, it just tells you how crazy it is that Xbox even exists in the first place, just given Bill Gates, Microsoft at the time. It's a super interesting, just even if you're not a fan of Xbox, like just a really good documentary about the games industry. It gives you a lot of insight. And, I think we saw that play out in real time with Phil Spencer and Satya, and we're still seeing it with Satya and Asha. Just like it's very competing goals. And like Jason Schreier even reported too, like there's talks that Xbox could spin off as a wholly owned
Yeah.
subsidiary,
Yeah.
as a joint venture cap. Like, look, I don't know if that's the right decision either, but it could be interesting because Xbox and Microsoft have always been at odds with each other ever since its founding 25 years ago. And we're just in a harsher economic reality right now. And Phil Spencer and Asha kind of both inherited a shit show
Yeah.
and have had to navigate in different ways. So I don't fully like, you could point the blame at a million things. We had bad leadership, we have shareholders, we had COVID, which is we're still recovering from especially in the games industry. We have crazy prices for components, the
Oh
AI
yeah.
boom, which again, Microsoft is a is a big you know, aggressor in the AI space, and they're also very much partly to blame for the high cost of components as well. So you have so many different factors right now, and
Yeah.
it just seems like games industry are taking a hit.
No, I agree with you, and we're seeing that across the board, but I'm still not 100% on board with Asha. But a fun fact about Asha, I don't know if you knew this, but she only started playing video games in 2026, and
Yeah,
her
no,
game
she started right away. I saw she has a
her
profile and
her gamer
what she's
tag
been
is
playing.
Amra Sasha, so it's like
Her name backwards,
her name
right? Yeah,
backwards, yeah,
yeah.
because she wants to learn and understand the gaming industry, but like that's where I'm like, you all I gotta say is this, right? Like you wouldn't get a line cook to go build a car. That's all I gotta say, man.
I mean, look, we're almost playing at both ends. We had a super gamer in Phil, and now we have a corporate AI tech person. And again, I've liked what she said in interviews. We knew hard decisions are gonna have to come for the health of the business. And again, I will never celebrate any single studio closing. I don't care, I saw a lot of talk on social media
Hmm.
like they didn't put out bangers, they didn't put out this that. I agree with Jason Schreier. Like they were fulfilling a mandate. I played a lot of the games out of Double Fine. Like I haven't played Keeper yet, but it's been on my backlog, and I want to go through that game. Psychonauts 2, both of them were amazing. I love the Hellblade series. Like South of Midnight, I loved. I mean, I thought the ending was terrible, but otherwise the game was a phenomenal piece of art. One of my favorite games of last year. Like these are great studios, and I will never celebrate their closure. But at the same time, too, like I understand Asha's in a bad position, and she said in her memo and every interview she's been in, like the business is not healthy. And you and I know as HR professionals too, like, dude, cost cutting is everywhere, and unfortunately, like when it comes to creative studios like this, like it's a very unfortunate reality, but it seems to be where we're at. Not to mention, I don't think we're done for the summer, and we'll get into our
Oh yeah.
other topics. But Sony has closed studios this year. They called closed Blue Point Studios. They canceled the studio
Hmm.
Firewalk that made
Hmm.
Concord. I think by the end of the year, like we're gonna see something at Bungie. I don't like we knew Bungie had to be saved by Sony once. Marathon isn't selling. They already canceled development on Destiny 2. I know everybody wants Destiny 3, but you can't turn that game around fast enough. Like I'm not wishing this, but I think it's a fairly safe prediction. Like we may see cuts at Bungie and other studios within Sony. And yeah, I mean like all these places, like no major developer or publisher is safe right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
and we could go straight into our other topic. Don't Nod also came out, and that's the other big news story is that reports are saying that if they don't find additional funding by November, we may see Don't Nod close. What's your interaction with Don't Nod as a studio, and what's your reaction to that news?
Yeah, I mean, I've played Life is Strange, the first one. I know about their other games. I know we've talked about it extensively in our pre-show. Like Vampire, I've played, but I'm fully aware of their other games. But I I've got to say, I'm not completely surprised that the company is going this direction. Right? It they've never created like a commercial success, like a commercial hit that was like a top seller for months on end, right? I mean, all their games. I mean, I think you even mentioned this. They're kind of the same, right? Like nothing really stands out. They're not doing anything innovative. I think back in 2013, they entered judicial reorganization. It's just like they're getting hit by financial crisis. They're getting hit by all these different things. And when you're a company that's already just trying to tread water, you're gonna get slapped by closure and whatnot. I just I just gotta say I'm not surprised that this is happening. I'm not happy that it's happening because I know a lot of people enjoy their games. I mean, you included. You and your wife enjoy all of their games, right? So it sucks to see, but in this highly competitive world, it's either you are innovative and you change at the times, or you get left behind, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at their list of games just to remember everything that they did, and I was looking at the list, and I pretty much played most of their games almost entirely to completion. We were talking in the pre-show, like the only game I couldn't finish was the most recent one, which was Aphelion, and I honestly gave that game a full shot. And I love walking simulators, but that game was just way too way too boring for me. But not to shoot down the street. Like I like Vampire. I actually really liked Vampire. I didn't like it wasn't a mind-blowing game. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden was actually one of my most anticipated games of 2024, quite honestly, because I love, kind of reminded me of The Witcher, and Witcher is like my favorite game of all time, and I love Don't Not as a studio. It was a decent game, but that game just like dragged on, and so like I think they make solid games, but they haven't made excellent games. like their biggest hit was arguably Life is Strange, which I think got pretty massively popular for
Yeah.
as you know as popular as you could get in that type of genre, because that's again not everyone's cup of tea. But outside of Life is Strange, I don't think any of their other games really sold well. And in fact, like some of their games are like the type of games that they come out full price and within 2-3 months you already see them on sale. I think Vampire, like I got it on sale pretty quickly after. I think I only bought that game for like $20 within like 3-4 months of release. So yeah, they don't put out, complete bangers, but yeah, it's a studio I respect because I love story driven games, and I think that's the that's their bread and butter is really good stories. But yeah, the gameplay not always hitting. But yeah, just another potential closure that we could be seeing by end of year.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I know Vampire came out in 2018, right? Man, their all-time peak on Steam was 1,700 players.
It was really, yeah.
That's pretty bad for a new, because this is going all time, right? That's never good
Right.
to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, dude, like we're in this weird part of the industry where like people say they want really good story driven single player games, and they're kind of a dime a dozen in terms of how fiscally successful they are in terms of purchases, right? You only get maybe one or two a year that like really succeed numbers wise. Everything else is kind of, middling in sales. And the games that do sell well are like these big multiplayer, free to play, battle royale, hero shooter, or whatever. Everyone like complains is slop, but like that has also been typically what drives the most monetization. So we're in
No,
like
yeah,
this weird
yeah. No
period of
wonder.
like
Yeah, no wonder these companies are chasing that.
right.
That unicorn, right? They're all looking to make the next big game that all the streamers are playing, that all the kids are
Yeah.
playing, and things like that. And it's kind of the consumer's fault at that point. But yeah,
Yeah,
no.
vote with your wallets, people. But
And we know that never happens.
it never happens, of course. Um, Before we continue, a couple housekeeping things. If you are enjoying this content, you're liking our videos. First of all, Nick and I really appreciate all of you who have been with us, who have been commenting. We love interacting with you guys. We'll continue to do so with weekly videos and discussions and gaming news. But if you haven't already and you want to stick with us, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell icon. You could also catch us on Spotify at Screen Peak Podcast, and hope you stay with us as we keep putting out new videos. And would love to hear what your reactions to all of these potential rumors of studio closures have been. What are you most disappointed in, or what were some of your favorite games from some of these studios? We'd love to hear you in the comments.
Absolutely. And just a quick plug. Remember, we have a lot planned out. When we hit our milestone for 100 subscribers, we're planning a giveaway. So don't go anywhere, right? We really want to bring you guys in with our content, but we also want you guys to stay for the community. And that's what Marco and I are trying to build, right? So hope to see you guys every single video, man.
Yeah. So let's talk about the next big story of the week, which is EA. All right. I feel like we haven't had a good story out of EA in
Oh no.
months, years. Kind of interesting. Like, and I think it got overshadowed by like all this Xbox news, but like EA launched an entire division called EA Advertising, whose sole function and purpose is to, put ads in game, right? And we're not just talking about like obviously EA has the large sports catalog and
Madden,
in-game advertisements,
FIFA, yeah.
fit the theme, right? Like stadiums have ads. All like if anything, it probably adds more realism to the game at this
Yeah.
point. But like,
Yeah.
no, they're talking about things like branded in-game events, like specific objectives and challenges. Like, could you imagine like you're playing Battlefield 6 and there's like the Mountain Dew challenge and you get 5 kills with the sniper rifle, and now you have a Mountain Dew camo, right? Like all different types of potential avenues that they could go with these advertisements. And it was actually a week or two ago that it was even rumored like Xbox is also considering, this type of in-game ad, as a revenue stream. How are you feeling about that? Are you excited to see more ads in your games?
Of course not. I mean, like you said, if it's like a sports game, it kind of adds to the realism and my immersion. Like, I'm a big Madden player, absolutely love Madden. For those who don't know, but honestly, like everything else, like it to me, it doesn't matter because I can't even remember the last like EA game that I've played. Right, like even Dragon Age Veilguard. I mean, like what? Okay, they're gonna add the Coca-Cola monster or something. Like I don't. It's going to be ridiculous if that's.
Some might say that'd be a better design enemy than some of the stuff we got.
Yeah. That's probably maybe. But with that said, like it doesn't really affect me too much because I don't play a whole lot of EA games because they haven't pushed out a lot of good games. I'll be honest with you. Oh no, they're gonna put some Coca-Cola Mountain Dew ad for Apex. Oh well, I don't play Apex, so I don't really care. But in general, for gamers, for my kid, for his future, right? Like when he starts playing games, it's kind of scary. Like ads are going to be everywhere. Like imagine playing a game that is so immersive, like I don't know, like an Elder Scrolls game, right? And then all of a sudden you get a pop up on your screen saying like, oh, let's do the Coca-Cola challenge. Run up and down this road like 10 times to get the Coca-Cola sword. What? Like, how immersion breaking is that? Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's
yeah. I mean, I'm not entirely worried about it, but I do like share some fear of like, especially if you're a parent, like you have your kids, like we all know how like kids nowadays love to grab their parents' credit cards playing Fortnite, and suddenly you're $100 deep into some skins that you didn't know your kids purchased. Like, I think that's where it goes down a rabbit hole, where it's like advertisements in game are one thing, and like maybe some like branded events. Like Fortnite has popularized, different brand collaborations, and it makes sense for that world, and it fits in naturally. But
yeah, collabs are fun. Like I don't have an issue with collabs, right? Especially if they're collabing with other games, other universes, other like literature, whatever. It's just like the way that EA is propositioning it is that it's as if it's going to be intrusive and it does not fit the game. That is the issue here. Like, okay, let's say Sims, for example. That's an EA game. Very, very big game in EA. Like, having real brands in that game, which they already do. They have, like, the H&M collab, right? They do collab with them, and they have the H&M clothes. I think they have one with IKEA. That's cool. That's fine. That fits in the realm of that game. However, I don't want to be playing a game like, I don't know, what's an EA game, man? Like, give.
I was thinking Mass Effect. Can you imagine you're on the Citadel and you see
Yeah, exactly. You see Walmart on the Citadel. What? Like it doesn't make sense, man.
Man, if Walmart lasts into the year, I don't even know, 2700, whatever Mass Effect takes place. we got bigger issues, but I mean, yeah, perhaps we'll reach the day where we're playing The Sims and I'm putting in a IKEA Kallax to fit my board game collection in game, and then I could buy more Kallaxes for my real life board game room. That'll be the day. We'll come full circle at that point.
What you just described reminds me of a game called Second Life. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Like people were like buying property and real estate in this game and advertisement space, and it's like this virtual world.
We're gonna see that now with Star Citizen, like in-game economy.
We could do a whole video.
There's a whole video on Star Citizen. Maybe that's another one. Couple quick more big news for the week, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's put some good news. I if you could call it good news, but people are excited. Today, Rockstar finally announced or revealed, I should say, the cover art for Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm sure we'll start to see hour-long YouTube videos and discussions breaking down every little picture in the cover art. I took a look at it. I don't know if you were able to
Yep.
catch a glimpse. I mean, pretty much what I expected.
Pretty
Nothing
standard.
too pretty
Pretty
standard.
standard.
But there's a lot of discussion on Twitter. I'll just say that. Just type in GTA 6 cover art, and you'll see. Somehow people are finding ways to debate it, which is, the internet never fails. But I think the bigger news besides the cover art, because honestly, half of you guys are gonna buy that game digitally anyway and never even look at the cover art. Pre-orders go live exactly a week from today on June 25th. So I guess my main question to you is like, we'll join the debate. Do you think this will be a $100 game, an $80 game? Do you think Rockstar will try to shake the boat in terms of the price we'll see next week for pre-orders?
Yeah, I think they go in for $99.99 for sure. Yeah,
You think so?
I think so. I mean, they know they're gonna get away with it. They know everybody and their mothers are gonna buy this game, and an extra $20-$30 is not gonna stop someone because of the hype. And good or bad, right? People are just going to flock to it, right? And then when it inevitably comes to PC, there are going to be double dippers, because I know people that are quadruple dippers at this point for GTA 5. So, yeah, they're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, we'll circle back next week when they finally. I'll take the $80 bet. I'm thinking 80, but we'll definitely probably see some different versions. We'll probably see $100 or $120 like deluxe version or something. But I think base standard game, my prediction will be $80 out the gate. The other interesting thing that people were saying is, and I didn't check it out for myself, on the Rockstar website, they removed the November 19th release date. So there's speculation, like, does it actually move? And we have all these games in September for no reason. But I'm like, why would you announce pre-orders June 25th if you would also move the date? So I think that's people just twisting theories. But
yeah.
We'll see. They're probably prepping the website. Who knows?
Yeah. No, agreed.
So we'll wrap up with just a couple upcoming games, and we'll just talk about the ones that we're most excited for, and then we'll close out the video. So some upcoming big releases. Tomorrow, Friday, June 19th, is UFC 6. And then next week on June 25th, we have Star Fox. July 9th, we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. July 23rd, we have Splatoon Raiders. Also on July 23rd, we have Avatar Legends, the fighting game. And then finally on July 28th, we have Halo Campaign Evolved. Nick, any of those grab your attention that you are excited to play?
Yeah, man. I mean, if UFC was on PC, I'd be on that in a heartbeat. I love a good sports game, and UFC has historically only been on consoles, so it's a little disappointing. But no, Star Fox, absolutely excited for it. We've talked about it multiple times already in multiple videos. I have it pre-ordered. I'm really excited to really put my Switch 2 to use. And the only other game on this list, honestly, that I'm excited for is Halo. I think you and I, we kind of talked about potentially doing a co-op campaign. I'm ready to relive Halo 1, right? I haven't played Halo in so long, and it's like you get to see it in this new engine, and I'm really excited for that, man.
Yeah, I think Halo is definitely my most anticipated. For as many times as I beat the first game, always excited to go back and excited to see what the future of Halo will look like in Unreal Engine 5 and 3 new campaign missions, which obviously will bring a fresh experience. So definitely my most hyped game, but like you said, Star Fox will be big for me. The only one I actually also want to throw a shout out to, because I think I might pick it up, is this Avatar Legends, the fighting game. I don't think you and I have ever talked. My wife and I love Avatar as a series, and I also love 2D fighters. I've been seeing some of these gameplay snippets of the different characters. I might pick that up day one.
It looks good. It looks good, and they're decently priced at least on Steam.
It's like 30, 40 bucks, right?
Yeah, 30 bucks. Yeah. It's hand-drawn animation. It's got an arcade mode. It's got an immersive story mode. obviously multiplayer. It looks good, and as a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I mean it definitely looks a lot better than the Invincible fighting game.
Oh
As
yeah,
as far as yeah, but that here's the thing, man. These types of fighting games die off so quickly, so it's like if you want to play it, you gotta get it now. So I mean, that's if you want to play multiplayer, right? I mean, if you want to go
right.
through the story, that's fine, whatever. But at that point, if you're only for the story, I would just wait for it to be like 50% off, right? Or on
Yeah,
the Game Pass, whatever. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
it looks good. Yeah.
30 bucks, maybe it's on sale. 15 bucks, 20 bucks. It sounds like it'll be a no regrets purchase. So, well, I'll be curious on that one. So, yeah, a couple great good games coming out in the next month or so. Still lots to look forward to in the rest of the year. We'll catch you all back next week. I'm sure we'll hear more on the Xbox side of things as Microsoft closes their fiscal year, and hopefully next week though we also get some good news because last couple have been little depressing, but hopefully we turn around next week or so. But that's it for this video, guys. Again, thanks for watching till the end. If you're still here, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.